My name is Juan Rodriguez. I'm 20 years old, and I came to the United States when I was 6 years old.
My name is Felipe Matos, and I'm 23, and I was born in Rio, Brazil.
My name is Carl. I'm 22 years old. Born in Caracas, Venezuela. Raised in Miami, Italy.
My name is Gabby Pacheco, and I cannot exercise my dreams because I'm not a good citizen or resident. I am here to share this story.
Here we are without that afraid to say it.
We want to take our story, our struggle, our convictions, and our passion 1,500 miles all the way to DC.
We are aware of the risk, but our future is already at risk because our present isn't there.
This is going to be better for the Blizzard Wolves band.
Today is February 12th.
Es importante tener buenos grados. Toda la gente que quiere a la universidad tiene que hacerlo.
My name is Juan Rodriguez. I am a student from the traveling with Sawani and Lafayette counties. I'm calling because I'm hearing from the local community members about many hate crimes that are occurring here, and many of those crimes are going unreported, or if they are reported, the local police is ignoring these crimes or refusing to investigate them.
To Mexico and stay out of our country.
It's true, they need to deport all their Mexicans and they should be eradicated whatever means it takes.
Since 2010, we continue to have hatred spewed across this country. And we will continue on fighting for equality and our rights.
The Jew walls are spending today and already on their 5-month journey. Hispanic youngsters from South Georgia were moved to tears.
Undocumented students risk arrest and even deportation, and the County Sheriff's a message this afternoon.
Everybody calls us illegal right now, and all we're asking is what is right to be ours.
The alarm is going on. Put on your shoes and come off with us. We're going to get to DC. You have to do something. No more talk. Now the sexual hours.
The walkers were joined by supporters in every state that they walked through, ultimately being met by thousands of youth leaders and community members on the front steps of the White House on May 1st of this year. The failures of this broken immigration system has affects the youth all around the station, just like you guys in this room. One student took the initiative to create awareness and change on the issue. We now go live to Romy, who speaks more about the issue and interviews this week.
Thank you, Raul. One of the biggest issues the walkers were campaigning during the trail was the DREAM Act. There are currently 2.5 undocumented youth in the United States. Most of these youth come to the United States at a young age and consider this country their home. But because of their inability to legalize themselves, once they turn 18, they're considered legal aliens. About 65,000 graduate each year from our high schools. And out of those 65,000, 5,000 are coming from Florida alone. When these students graduate, they are unable to pursue college education, unable to obtain a driver's license, and unable to hold a steady job because of their statuses. There is hope, however, and this hope comes in the form of the DREAM Act. The Development, Relief, and Education for Alien Minors Act, also known as the DREAM Act, is a bipartisan piece of legislation that would allow undocumented high school students to pursue higher education or join the military, and eventually granting them a pathway to citizenship. I'm standing here live with Ray Tarico, a recent UF alumni and an activist. Ray, please tell us a little bit about your story and what motivated you to become involved in the student movement.
Thank you, Romy. My involvement with Jesus and being part of the immigrant youth movement stems from my experience as an immigrant. I arrived from Chile at the age of 7. I remember the first time I heard a racial slur in my first grade classroom, directed to no one but me, and the time that my mother was treated poorly at a store because of her broken English. And of course, when I found out what it meant to be undocumented, for my closest friends who could not be afforded to go to college because they lacked papers. This is what I grew up seeing, and it may be true for you as well. How much the color of your skin matters, the importance of how well you speak English, and why illegals don't belong in this country. I grew up surrounded by hate, and I still do. We see it every day. But I decided during my stay here at UF how to change the context of this reality. And so it has become my mission to change people's outlooks on one's skin color, the negative perceptions of immigrants and their families, and the change of use of language from illegal to undocumented. Throughout my last 2 years at UF, I was looking for something meaningful, something that I could call service to my community, something that I could call change. I first found it through my volunteer experience as an ESOL teacher to migrant workers from Gainesville. I then continued it through Cheese Fest, where I found my place as an immigrant youth and began my career in activism, fighting for the DREAM Act and for the rights of the marginalized Latino community, one that even we, as Latinos, rarely talk about. Since 2008, I have been involved in the immigrant youth movement in Florida, and now I work as an organizer with the Florida Immigrant Coalition. But I have been in the struggle since I came to this country. The struggles of all our parents, seeking to find the American dream, sacrificing physical and emotional strength to provide a better life for their children. The struggles of our friends, those who we know to be excellent students but cannot attend college. The struggles of the farm worker, who pick the tomatoes that you consume on a day-to-day basis, and who receive under minimum wage for the arduous labor of the Florida hot sun. And finally, the struggles of all our people, all of us as human beings, that deal with racism, segregation, and discrimination throughout the world. I continue fighting for my parents. I fight for them through my community involvement. It began with me finding my voice. Through Cheese Fest, I know that students here at UF can now be heard. What will you do to find your voice? Thank you.
Cheese Fest is a student organization that aims to raise awareness, educate, and advocate on behalf of issues related to the immigrant struggle. They offer free English classes to the community, lobby local legislators and senators to push for immigration reform in the DREAM Act, and participate in service events to help migrant farmer communities in surrounding areas. They even got UF's president, Bernie Manchin, to publicly support the DREAM Act, along with hundreds of signatures from students, faculty, and staff in support of the bill. And that's not even all of their accomplishments. Voted Best Organization of the Year, Cheese Fest challenges you to be the spark of your community. Let's take a closer look.